Imagine a world on the brink, a world with two suns in its sky, two colossal superpowers, each casting a long shadow across the globe. Their influence spreads like wildfire, fueled by cutting-edge technology and a web of strategic alliances. For decades, they maintained a fragile peace, a delicate dance of diplomacy and deterrence. But the music is stopping. Political trust is evaporating, and the air crackles with suspicion. The stage is set for a conflict that feels not just possible, but inevitable. Then the spark. It could be anything. A contested border where patrol ships trade more than just angry signals. A devastating cyber attack that cripples a nation's power grid, plunging millions into darkness. Or the subtle, chilling sabotage of a vital resource, turning water into a weapon. The truth is lost in a storm of accusations. Each empire points the finger at the other, convinced they are the victim of a calculated aggression. The incident isn't the cause of the war, it's just the excuse. A chain reaction begins, a domino rally of retaliation, where each move is deadlier than the last. In gilded halls and secure video conferences, the world's most powerful leaders try to pull back from the edge. But diplomacy is a fragile thing. The talks are poisoned by misinformation, with fabricated intelligence reports and deepfake videos fanning the flames of outrage. Back home, political rivals see the crisis as an opportunity, pushing for harder, more aggressive stances to rally public support. Fear and patriotism become a potent, toxic cocktail. Leaders, once masters of their own destiny, now find themselves swept along by a current of public anger they can no longer control. The phone lines between capitals go silent. Before the first missile flies, a different kind of war begins, a war fought in the shadows. Both empires unleash their ghosts. Elite intelligence agents, masters of disguise and deceit, move through enemy cities, gathering secrets and sowing chaos. Cyber warfare teams, digital phantoms in the machine, launch silent assaults on financial markets and military command systems. And in the dead of night, special operations units carry out daring missions deep behind enemy lines, testing defenses and striking at strategic targets. Each covert action is a secret gamble, meant to gain an upper hand. But secrets have a way of getting out, and each exposed operation only deepens the wound, escalating the crisis beyond any hope of containment. The conflict can no longer be contained. The two giants are forcing the world to choose a side. Smaller nations, once secure in their neutrality, are now caught in a terrifying geopolitical vice. Allegiance is demanded, not requested. Trade routes that were once the arteries of global commerce become contested choke points. Strategic seas, once open to all, are now patrolled by hostile navies. What began as a dispute between two powers metastasizes into a global standoff, pulling allies, willing or not, into the expanding vortex of war. The entire planet holds its breath, waiting for the first major blow to land. And then it happens. The moment the world has been dreading. It might be a naval battle on the high seas, where fleets of steel titans unleash their fury in a symphony of explosions. It could be a swirling dogfight in the stratosphere, where hypersonic jets duel among the clouds. Or perhaps it's a new kind of battle, a technological masterstroke that blinds an entire army, rendering its weapons useless without a single shot fired. Whatever form it takes, this first major clash is a brutal, shocking spectacle. The illusion of a limited conflict is shattered. The world watches in horror, live-streaming its own descent into chaos. The war is no longer coming. It is here. Amidst the grand, impersonal machinery of war, individual stories begin to shine through. Unexpected heroes emerge from the most unlikely places. A young soldier, armed with more courage than experience, holds a critical defensive line against impossible odds. A disillusioned diplomat, working against their own government's orders, risks everything to open a secret back-channel for peace. A renegade hacker, once pursued by the state, now uses their skills to defend the innocent, exposing war crimes to the world. A civilian paramedic who braves artillery fire to save lives on both sides of the front line. Their personal sacrifices, their choices, and their struggles become the human heart of this massive geopolitical crisis. While the empires project an image of unbreakable strength, internally they are fracturing under the immense strain of the war. In the halls of power, political rivalries intensify, as ambitious leaders use the conflict to settle old scores and seize control. On the streets, public protests erupt, with citizens demanding an end to a war that is consuming their children and their futures. The economy groans under the weight of wartime spending, leading to shortages and civil unrest. Even within the military, divisions appear. Generals disagree on strategy, and soldiers on the front lines begin to question the orders they are given. These internal vulnerabilities become critical weaknesses, shaping the course of the war as much as any battle. The conflict reaches its zenith. The endless attrition, the economic ruin, and the mounting death tolls have pushed both empires to their absolute limit. There is no turning back. All resources are mobilized for one final, cataclysmic confrontation. This isn't just another battle, it is the battle that will decide everything. Will one empire achieve total victory, forcing the other into unconditional surrender? Or will they grind each other into dust, leaving nothing but ashes for the victor? On this final battlefield, strategy, sacrifice, and the moral choices made by commanders and soldiers alike will determine the fate of not just two empires, but of the entire world. The dust settles. The silence that follows the final battle is deafening. Regardless of who won or lost, the world has been irrevocably broken and remade. Old alliances are shattered, replaced by new, uneasy pacts born from the necessities of war. Borders have been redrawn in blood, creating new nations and new grievances. The survivors are left to sift through the rubble, to mourn their dead, and to grapple with the lessons of the conflict. Lessons about the fragility of peace, the cost of ambition, and the destructive nature of fear. Some of these lessons will be learned, others will be tragically ignored, planting the seeds for the next great collision. A new world order has begun, built on the ruins of the old. The board is reset, but the game remains the same. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy exploring these kinds of epic stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next journey into the worlds of history, fiction, and what if. Until next time, stay curious.